Hey guys, don't forget to check out my book by the same name as the podcast, The Gospel of Fire. It is on Amazon. So just go on Amazon.com, The Gospel of Fire, or you can just simply search my name as well, Eliot Marshall, and it will pop up. You can buy the Kindle version or the paperback version. I appreciate the support, and it just kind of goes up in about my life a little bit as a memoir-ish to self-help-ish type book, but check it out. Leave a review if you so choose and you find it helpful or unhelpful, either way. So Amazon.com and then search The Gospel of Fire. Guys, the podcast is also brought to you by Onnit, ONNIT, Human Optimization Company. Again, code word Eliot is the code word for your order on Onnit. You will receive 10% off. Again, ONNIT, all kinds of stuff for human optimization. They have supplements. They have the Total Human. They have all kinds of stuff. Alpha Brain. I love me some Alpha Brain every once in a while when I know I got to sit down, get some work done. The brain just kicks in a little bit. I've enjoyed using the Shroom Tech Sport. It gives that little extra boost when I'm getting ready to go do a workout. So again, ONNIT, code word Eliot, and you will receive 10% off your order. Guys, this podcast is being brought to you by Evo Labs. Evo Labs is a cannabis company who has some of the best CBD products on the market. I really enjoy all their CBD products. They have an intense salve that is my favorite product, where deals with muscle soreness. You rub it on your muscles. You rub it on your body after a shower, and it really helps relieve the soreness. The other CBD products, all kinds of different ones that you can intake or use, some for sleeping, some for stress and anxiety. Anyway, evolabs.com. Go check them out, and you type in the code word FIRE and you will receive 10% off your order. evolabs.com. Ever have sore, beat up fingers after jiu-jitsu? We all have, right? Ever wish there was a better way to ice them down than sticking your fingers in a cup of ice water? Well, now there is. Penguin Fingers. Invented by a jiu-jitsu black belt, Penguin Fingers remove the soreness from your fingers or your toes in just minutes, allowing you to train harder and longer with less damage to your digits. Chronic inflammation is like sand in your joints. Training day in and day out with sore, irritated fingers can leave them arthritic and knobby. Penguin Fingers can stop all of that before it ever starts. Penguin Fingers non-toxic, reusable individual finger ice packs come in boxes of 1, 2, or 4 soft gel sleeves. Simply keep them in your freezer and roll them out onto sore fingers or toes as they are needed. Available on Amazon or at penguinfingers.com. Fingers are life tools. Protect them. Use code 10THEFIRE and you will receive 10% off at checkout. Again, 10THEFIRE for 10% off at checkout at penguinfingers.com. Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter Eliot Marshall, and this is The Gospel of Fire, where we're going to go through the fire to learn how to live the best life possible. What's up, guys? So this week on the podcast, I have Rebecca Baack. Rebecca Baack is the CEO president of multiple yoga schools, where she quit her job in telemarketing to become an entrepreneur, and she has become very successful and really learned a lot. She's very different than I am. She is an introvert. I am an extrovert, and we sat down and got to talk about some of our differences in leadership and some of the places that we converge. So I hope you enjoy. Without further ado, Rebecca Baack. Here we are, another episode of The Gospel of Fire. How are you, Rebecca?
I'm good. How are you, Eliot?
I'm good. What's your last name?
It's Baack.
Baack. I didn't know that. These are my favorite podcasts, by the way. Because I didn't know your last name, so that means I don't know much about you.
I don't know much about you either.
I know,
This
so
is
these are
kind
my
of fun.
favorite ones. Like when I will find some. I always get nervous right before him because I'm like, oh shit, I know nothing about this person. I was actually pretty nervous for the Amal one.
Really?
Yeah, because I know all of his stories.
Yeah.
And I've probably heard all of his stories like 30 times because that's just like when you know someone, right? So I'm like, fuck, man, what am I gonna talk about? Like, I was like, am I gonna talk, because it won't be natural for him to tell this story to me.
Oh,
the 30th time, or the 31st time, right. So it's like I'm okay. So you remember that time, Amal, when you were with Henzo and this and this and this and this, like which other people want to hear because they haven't heard it.
Yeah.
But I know I have. But how do I just go about it naturally?
Yeah.
So that one made me really nervous, actually.
Yeah, it's about thinking of good questions.
And then me shutting up.
Yeah.
Right, and and letting him tell the story. And me not like leading the story out of him.
Right.
So, yeah, that was a good one. But I was pretty nervous for this one on the way coming in too. I was like, what the fuck are we going to talk about?
All right.
But you crushed it for me. Truth serum.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're on truth serum all the time?
Well, I'm an introvert, but so I'm like sometimes I have a hard time talking about myself. Like it makes me uncomfortable. I like one-on-one interaction with somebody, but I have an inability to just not tell somebody the answer to the question they're asking me. It's like I can't.
Give me an example. Wait, does it ever get you in trouble? How about that?
Probably perceived trouble in my mind, but not actual trouble, because I think, like you were saying, it's good that you speak your truth, right? Like overall, it's better to put the truth out there than to hold it in.
Oh no, mine gets me in trouble.
Okay.
Mine gets me in trouble for sure. Mine gets me in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I think I speak the truth, but I have a artful way of.
You have a good delivery.
A good delivery.
Yeah, mine's just fucking raw and true.
Yeah.
You know,
I could see that about you.
Oh yeah. Mine gets me in trouble every once in a while. What was it the other day? Mike and I had some work to do together. And I gotta stop saying I'm trying to get my wife to like stop when I say she goes, no, Eliot, actually I don't.
Yeah.
So that's our thing.
Filler words are hard.
It's so hard because then sometimes when I edit stuff, I have to just edit out
cut it out?
But it's and I'm not very good at editing.
Yeah.
So so it's so small. I'm like, oh no, too much. Oh, too little. Fuck.
Okay, are you gonna edit my filler words out then for me?
No. So there's no editing of this.
Okay, shit.
Unless there's something that you're like, hey. But this I go unedited.
Okay.
I like people to see all of your fuck ups and my fuck ups. I think we need to see that more in the world.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You do nothing perfectly.
Right.
Not even close, right?
Absolutely.
Me either. But all we portray is this perfect product of what we have.
True.
On Instagram, on social media, like everyone thinks that your businesses are so perfect. Man, people don't understand how bad we fuck up.
Yeah.
Fuck, I fucked that one up.
What's your biggest fuck up lately?
My truth serum.
Oh, okay.
Like I have to be a little more aware of my audience.
I see.
And like sometimes the things that the truth. So I did this thing called the dig, which was with this.
That's with Erin, right?
Yeah. Do you know Erin?
I do.
She's amazing. Right?
Yeah.
I fucking love her. She's the one who got me started on all of this.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my book, the podcast, everything. Like she changed my life.
Awesome.
So I did the dig, and my word was power.
Okay.
And I really like to help people find their power. Sometimes the truth doesn't help you do that. And sometimes in the way that the truth is delivered doesn't help you do that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Let's do it. I'll tell you where I'm in trouble.
Okay.
And we won't go deep into it because I'm still in the middle of the trouble, but we'll go back to the old part of the trouble. So I can't talk about the trouble while it's not until it's fixed. Okay. But I have these two girls. One of them, I love them both dearly, like dearly. One of them is like my child, and the other one's like my sister. Okay. I would say, like I really love them, and the feeling is mutual. I hope and I believe. So, no, I know the feelings mutual because they're currently a little upset with me. Okay. And on Thursday I was leaving, and the one that's like my sister, Dana, comes up to me right before I was like, I end my class, and she comes up to me and goes, hey, and I'm like, what's up? And she's like, just in case we both die while we're gone, but she's going on a trip too. I just want you to know I love you. Like, I don't want you to think, you know, so like, and I was like, all right, I don't think we're going to die, but I love you too. So, you know, like, that's our relationship.
Okay.
And the other one's young. And I don't know, maybe they're going to get mad at me for talking to you about this. So I guess we'll see. Maybe this will get edited out so I don't get in more trouble. But we were somewhere and we were talking about, and I can totally see how I fucked this up. We were talking about girls versus guys in jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
And man, it's a shitty thing that, like, this is the truth, that the very, very best female is probably going to lose to a very, very good blue belt male.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's not very empowering.
Yeah. That's rough.
That's rough.
It is rough
it's
doing
rough.
jiu-jitsu as a female.
Yes,
I will agree.
So, but my one girl is like, she's trying to be the very, very best in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Like, and I think she's going to.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a little disempowering.
Yeah, it's hard.
And my delivery was not good either.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I think we've worked through that one.
Yeah.
Like, but still, like, that was...
So she was upset about that.
That was not a very empowering thing. Right. I don't know if she's upset or still upset, but like if we're just going to talk about how I fuck up a lot, right? So yeah, that's, you know, I blew that one badly.
Yeah.
You know, badly, really, really badly.
Yeah.
And
so she disagreed with that. I'm just like, how was that perceived so negatively? Because you just told that to me, and I do jiu-jitsu, and I'm like, yeah, I could see that.
You're not trying to be the best.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I probably didn't say it that softly.
Okay, gotcha. That I could see about you.
I know I didn't say it that softly. Right?
Okay, got it.
So that is something that I have to work on. Like, so I said it to you and you were fine with it, right? Well, obviously I fucked up the delivery with my truth serum. I've had time to think about how to say that message. Yeah. You know, I've had time, you know, so I fucked it up a bunch and now I'm better at it. Right. Obviously. You handled that pretty well. Yeah.
I also have very little ego too. So I think that helps.
I don't think she has an ego. I don't think either one of them have an ego, you know? But I think when you're charging at something, you know? Yeah. Like if it's not the truth, right? That because you are an entrepreneur. Right. Right. It's not the truth that female entrepreneurs cannot be as good as males. Correct. But let's imagine that it was. Okay. Okay. But just for a second. And I told you that was the truth. And it's all you want in your whole life.
Yeah. I would just let go of what you'd said. Right. Right. Like with criticism, it's like you can take it on or you can choose to set it aside. Right. That's what I told them a little bit. Yeah. I was like, look, I'm a fucking idiot sometimes. Right. Like, I'm an idiot. I'm a human being. I'm a fucking moron. Just be like, God damn, he's a fucking moron. Like in your head. Yeah. Right? Like in your head, just be like, God damn, that motherfucker is a moron. Dumbass, I fucking love him. Right? Like your husband, you're married, right? Right. Is he ever a fucking moron? All the time.
All the time. All the time. Right? And what do?
I just ignore it.
You just ignore it. He's being a fucking idiot. I'm going to go for a walk. Yeah. Yeah. So, but there's more of a dynamic to that, right? Because they're looking at me to lead them through this. Like they're like, here's the person. Coach. I'm their coach. Okay, yeah. I'm their mentor.
That's a bit rough when it's your coach.
Yeah, yeah. For 100, especially when you're about to compete the next day.
Okay, yeah. Eliot, Jesus. Yeah, the timing and the delivery of that.
Of course. I'm an idiot. But so my truth serum I have to dial mine. Right. You know, I have to dial mine. I I still love you, Anna and Dana. Please don't be mad at me when you listen to this. But that's just what, so I have to dial mine back, and maybe I'm going to get in big trouble with the whole jiu-jitsu community, we'll see.
Oh, for saying
that. But I think most of us
there's just a strength differential between men and women that you can't get past.
You can't get past. Yeah. It's really hard to. It's why you separate the divisions.
Right.
It's why, to get into a more difficult topic, like with the male who becomes female and is trying to compete in female sports. Right. It's why you don't see it the other way.
Yeah.
There's no girl becoming male trying to go compete with the men.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't happen. Like, because you
just can't get there.
They can't get there.
Yeah.
Like, you can do other things better than us.
Right.
Right. Like, genetically we evolved so that the men do this physical shit and the women do this other shit a little bit. Right? Like, not that it's not blending, and as it should. It's great that it is. Right. Yeah. It's great that girls are charging after athletic things, you know, but you're never like, I can't get to the NFL.
Right.
No girls getting to the NFL. Like, it's just not
going
to happen. Like, so that's an inconvenient truth.
Yes. I accept it.
Right.
But
that's an inconvenient truth.
Yeah.
That's an inconvenient truth. On the, I think you guys walk through problems better than us. You do what you just said. You speak your inconvenient truth much better than males on the aggregate, I would say.
Yeah, that could be. I think women are better wired to be communicators.
Yes. It's a lot of work for me.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking work for me, so much. And like, I lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn, all right, did I say that right? And especially after I do it.
Well, you're an extrovert. So like, your tendency is to just say it and then think about it afterwards. Where as an introvert like me, I will like overanalyze what I'm going to say before I say it. Like, I'll run it through all my filters of how is this person going to feel about it? How are they going to, perceive it? And then I'll say it.
Yeah, never do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not my first instinct. Yep. I do it. Don't get me wrong. Now I do it, right? Because I've had to learn how to do it. But I'm just like, fuck it. Let's deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
Let's deal with the consequences. Let's see what happens. And, so far the consequences haven't been too bad. And we're trying to keep it that way.
Yeah. Well done.
I think I've just been a little lucky. So you are an entrepreneur.
Correct.
In what?
In yoga.
In yoga. How did you get into yoga?
I got into yoga probably 20 years ago. I was working in the telecom industry, and just super stressful job, 8 to 8 p.m. every day in
12 hours.
Layoffs every month for a period of time.
You were getting laid off? Or
no,
you were
I never got laid off. I was observing my peers getting laid off.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm 6'2". People can't see that.
Right.
But that height.
You're tall. Yeah.
You just back gets messed up. So all that stress
so you're sitting like this. Like, hunched
correct.
over. Okay.
Yeah, on a computer all day long.
Like I am right now.
Right.
Evan, don't get mad, man. Evan, don't get mad at me. I don't have good posture, boo.
And I started doing yoga just to make my back feel better.
Okay.
And progressively did it more and more. And that's when I took some of my first classes at Core Power Yoga, and absolutely loved Core Power Yoga. And at the same time, I have a business mind. So I'd go in there, put down my yoga mat, and I would look around the room and count how many bodies were in the room. And then I'd think about how much they charge for yoga, and I'd add that up in my head. And then I'd look at the space and think, this is just an empty room with an HVAC system and a really good stereo. And like, this has got to be a pretty decent business. And throughout my career, I ended up working for somebody who was one of the early investors in Core Power Yoga.
Okay.
He was my boss at the time. And so we would talk about the business of yoga. He practiced yoga also. And I ultimately left that position, joined another company, but it was always in the back of my head, this idea of yoga as a business. I wasn't a super dedicated practitioner of yoga. I was like sort of sporadic in it. And I left, went to this other job, and I realized through transitioning jobs that what I ultimately wanted was to work for myself. So that's when I started putting...
It's the best, right?
Yeah.
It's the best.
Well, it's a different kind of stress.
It's a different kind of stress, but I love it.
Yeah, but now I can't it's hard to go back.
I don't know what I would do.
Yeah. And so anyway, I just was this back of my head thinking this is a cool business and I want to do it. And so my husband and I decided, all right, let's just open our own yoga studio. Let's do it.
So you were married already?
I was married already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have kids yet?
No kids yet.
Okay.
So we found a space in Broomfield and put a letter of intent.
Are you from here?
No, I was living in Boulder at the time.
Are you?
But
where are you from?
I'm from Denver.
Okay. So you're from Colorado?
Yeah, I'm from Colorado.
And is your husband too?
No, he's from California.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but we just looked at the market to see where's a space where there's no competitors doing this kind of business, and it happened to be Broomfield. So we looked and found a site.
That's a risk, the no competitor thing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you want to go to a market where there are people, right?
Well, it was hard in the beginning because we had to convince people of the benefits of yoga.
You had to start yoga
in that market. Yeah, we had to start yoga in that market.
Right.
So that definitely had an added challenge to it. But how it became a core power was my husband and I signed a letter of intent with the landlord there, and I emailed my old boss from years before and said, hey, I'm thinking of opening a yoga studio in Broomfield. I'm absolutely terrified. All I want is for you to wish me luck. And he wrote me back within probably 10 minutes of me sending that email saying, I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. Do you want to partner on it and have it be a Core Power Yoga? And so we were Core Power's first franchise.
Okay. Oh, really?
That way, yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was 14 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you didn't do the whole teacher trainer thing to like how they do it now, right? Don't they take their teachers and
put them through training,
and then the best ones they have them teach for them, and then they go open a franchise with them.
Yeah, I approached it from the business side and then became a yogi. So the two of us decided to open this studio, have it be a Core Power, and I was still undecided.
So when you say the two of us, and Core Power,
myself and my business partner,
right? Okay.
Who was my former boss.
Okay.
And I wanted to. At the time, I was deciding whether or not I wanted to just be an investor, sort of business owner of it, or actually be like all the way in managing the studio, teaching classes. So I left my job for a month. I asked for like a month off, and I went down to Costa Rica and did a teacher training, and came back just a completely different person. And I was like, I am so in this.
Did your husband go with you to Costa Rica too, or no?
No, he did not.
Okay.
Yeah. So I came back and was like, I'm fully in this. I want to be the manager. I want to teach classes. Like, this has changed my life. And so I approached it from that business side, but then became obsessed with yoga.
And you're still obsessed?
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be part of me. My practice has evolved now more into meditation.
Okay.
Less the physical practice. I still love the physical practice. It feels good. It's like gives me lots of endorphins, but I've evolved over time just to be more focused on the meditation part of it now.
I love meditation. I meditate every day.
You do? How long?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long do you meditate?
It varies. I would answer that question by saying I'm meditating at all times. Like I'm always observing my mental state.
Okay. So then I am too.
Yeah.
I'm always observing my mental state because my mental state can fuck me.
Right. Yeah. So it's like I'm always trying to watch the drama rather than be the drama. I mean, every once in a while I like slip and you like become that drama. But
you should come work for us if you want to get involved in the drama. You should come work for us.
But yeah, I tell you, well, now you got to tell me more about that.
My lawyer would shoot me.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, right? When you have lots of people working for you who fight each other physically, probably causes some drama.
No, that doesn't cause drama.
Does that sort out the drama?
That sorts out the drama.
Okay.
The drama is the power dynamic.
Oh, I see.
Like what I just talked about a little bit, right? Like my students who like look at you like you're preaching the fucking gospel because.
So you think people like put you sort of on a guru level and like what you say is so powerful for them?
Of course, but not just me.
Right.
All the other instructors too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that happens in yoga too sometimes. Yeah. So I understand that.
But then you do have this physical thing.
Right.
Like that everyone is drawn to fighting.
Yeah.
Like every single person in their core a little bit is drawn to this. Whether you hate fighting and you go, but damn, that person can fight. You know, like they're a protector,
right?
You know, or whether you love fighting. Like I think Dana White put it really good one time. He was like, look, here's the deal. Go into the busiest corner in Manhattan. Okay. Put Michael Jordan playing LeBron James in one-on-one on one corner. Have Joe Montana throwing passes to Jerry Rice on another corner. Have, I don't know, the two best whatever doing something on one corner, and then have two bums fighting on the fourth corner. Everyone's going to be watching the bums.
Yeah.
Everyone, because you're like, oh shit, it's gonna like it's this aura of like suspense, like even boring fights.
Yeah,
like watch a boring fight, the crowd's still like glued to it. They might be glued to it because it can change on a dime.
Yeah,
you know, and that's fighting.
Right.
So there's something about fighting, and then giving people the power to fight. Yeah. And then they can take that to their life. It's, you know?
Yeah.
So that power dynamic and teaching people to not abuse that power dynamic. The whole guru thing, you know, like, that's our biggest thing. Yeah. One of our biggest things. Yeah. So, you know, and then obviously I still fuck it up, right? So if I'm the leader fucking it up, then, you know, everyone else is too.
Yeah. But I feel like if you're vulnerable about that, like, which it seems that you are, you're very quick to admit that. I feel like that builds loyalty.
Oh yeah, but that doesn't make it easier.
Right.
But now everyone goes, damn, fucking good at that, accepting where he fucks up. Yeah. And then that raises it. you see it? Like it's not, you know, like, so vulnerability. So I suffer from anxiety. Okay. So what got me out of my anxiety was was being vulnerable. Like finally just admitting it to the world. Yeah. And not just keeping it to myself.
And that, you felt like that reduced your anxiety.
Well, that's just fuck you to it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That said fuck you to the anxiety. Okay. You know? Yeah. Like it took the power away. Like it couldn't eat on me anymore. Right. Because I was still going to go do my thing every day. Right. Even with it. Yeah. So then it just it goes, you know, and it still comes. Right. All the time. And I just say, hey, how you doing? Fuck off. You know? Yeah. Fuck off. Yeah. So, but that's you know, that's again, a double-edged sword. Because then does my apology or does my fuck up, when I say I fucked up, doesn't even mean as much because it's not hard for me.
I see. Like a not very authentic apology.
Right. I mean, I'm being authentic, but but what really builds that authenticity is when you know that that's difficult for the person to do, and they're doing it anyway. Right. Well, this shit ain't hard for me. Yeah. I'm fine with fucking up. Yeah. Like my wife gets mad at me sometimes when I fuck up, and like I realize it, and she's like 20% into making her argument of how I fucked up, and I'm like, babe, I got it. I fucked up. Yeah. And she's like, no. Yeah, I wanna finish here. You know? Yeah. So that again, that's probably something that I can work on. Yeah. You know, of not just being sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think like really hearing somebody and how you made them feel. Right. You know, yeah. So I'm interested, you know, yeah. You know, and that
you just said, you know.
Fuck. that's gonna help me have people find their power, is letting them get their thing out. For sure. You know, fuck, I did it again. Yeah. So I have to again be quiet.
Well, I mean, that's an extroverted thing, right? Like you want to fill the space, and like I think one of the things that's helped me as a leader is I'm good at holding the space for other people. And so point. That's what you have to learn to balance, right? But like my how that can hurt me, my introversion, is sometimes I can appear aloof to people because like I just let them do their thing and I don't like get in with them.
That's hilarious, you know? Because when Mike first told me he was talking to you and I didn't know who you were, I thought you were aloof. See? And he's like, yo, dude, this lady's a badass. I was like, huh? She looks a little aloof, bro. Like in my head. Right? Yeah, I'm a slow burn. Yeah. I'm like, people, they don't know what to think of me, and you're a slow burn. I'm a fungus.
Yeah.
I grow on you.
Fungus.
I grow on you. Yeah. I grow on people. Okay. At first, they're like, "Man, fuck that guy." My wife was like, "Fuck that guy." She went out with me to win a bet.
Wow.
Who could go out on the most first?
What did she win from the bet?
I think a dinner.
Oh, okay. All
Like
right.
who could go out on the most first dates without going out on a second?
Huh.
And she and her friend were tied on May the 30th.
So she liked you enough to go out for the second date and lose the bet.
No, she won the bet because it was just in a month.
Oh, okay.
She won
after
the
bet.
bet.
Month, she was free to do whatever she wanted.
You win the bet on June 1st.
I see.
So we went out on like the 29th or something, or the 30th of May, or like, one of the last days.
Yeah.
So the bet comes, she wins,
right.
and now.
So did she ask you out, or did you ask her out?
No, I asked her out.
Okay.
Yeah, she met me at a bar. Like I was working at a bar, and then as she was leaving, I was like, hey, why don't you come back and see me sometime? And she literally goes, if you were a real man, you would ask for my number by now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So then,
you liked that, I bet.
I did unknowingly.
Right.
And then we, and then to make matters even worse, the first time I called her, I had surgery that day. So I was all fucked up on painkillers.
Oh, no.
And I mean, she said I called her 5 times throughout the day. I don't really remember this.
Right.
And then so finally she answers, she goes, "What is your problem?" And I'm like, "Hey." And she's like, "Are you drunk?" I was like, "No, it's surgery." And so then she kind of forgave me. Yeah. And I don't know, we should not have worked.
Really? Why should you have not worked?
Would you go out with a guy like that?
I don't know. I kind of think it's, I mean, well, if you were drunk and called me, no. But if you were called me 5 times and
but I'd never called surgery,
you before. I don't know. I think it would be sort of sweet.
Yeah, it wasn't. I just was going through my phone. I was just scrolling through my phone calling people.
Well, it worked.
It worked. Yeah, no, it worked. So, but yeah. I don't know. Cool. So yeah, it's interesting how our problems are opposite.
Right.
We have total opposite problems.
We do.
I need a little more of you and you need a little more of me.
I do.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm always trying to be more extroverted. Yeah. It's hard.
No, it's easy. When I go to a party, I don't try to be the life of the party. I'm not oh man, I'm going to get everyone's attention.
Yeah.
I'm going to get up on the bar and dance.
Yeah.
That's never that's a cry for attention in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't have to do that. And for you, you're probably like, damn, should I get up on the bar and dance?
No, I'm just I don't know if I want to go to that party.
Right, yeah. You're looking at your clock, have I been here long enough? Have I been here long enough? Yeah.
Exactly.
I have friends like that. My friend Ian's like that. He's constantly all right, 10 more minutes. He's like, come on, somebody leave, so I'm not the first person to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we tangented, which is what I do.
That's all right.
I always tangent. So you go to Costa Rica, you come back, you change your life, and you open your first Core Power Yoga.
Great.
And you're the manager, you're everything.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. I am accounting, I am the plumber,
shit.
I am the...
Yeah, it's the best.
I am the cleaner, I'm the teacher.
People don't realize this, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
You don't have, you think you're going to have a new job, but now you got 10 new jobs.
10 new jobs, yeah. It was... It was a bit of a trauma, actually, opening my first business, because in a couple of ways. I mean, one is that I just never took a day off for probably over 3 months.
Okay.
Was there every day doing everything. And I think the second piece of it was my whole life I had always had some sort of external approval, right? Either you're in school and you're getting grades, or you go into a corporate job and you're getting quarterly evaluations. And so I constantly had somebody there telling me I was doing a good job. And when you start your own business, there's nobody there anymore to tell you that. And you have to find that from within. And that was something I was not expecting when I became an entrepreneur. And I had to teach myself how to decide if I was doing a good job or not myself.
Oh, I got to think about that. The market will kind of tell you.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, we were starting the yoga. We were starting
in
yoga
the very beginning.
In Broomfield.
Yeah.
And so it
Good
was
point.
a slow growth at the beginning of that studio, and which was hard because I internalized that at first too. Right. And I was on this emotional roller coaster where we'd have a good day and I'd be like, yes, I did a good job. And then the next day we'd have a bad day and I would be depressed.
Oh man. Whew, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear this led I've talked about it, this led to my anxiety. I would sit here and get on my computer every morning when I bought into the schools. And I would look at the numbers and religiously to the point where I was trying to There's no software system that's great, really, right? Like,
Yeah.
they all kind of suck.
Yeah.
So you just kind of stick with the, stick with the husband or the wife that rather than
Right.
go find a new one, right? Like,
Right.
you're like, I know you suck, so, and I can handle yours,
Yeah.
right? So, and I would try to find the members that dropped off.
Interesting.
And if there was 3 I couldn't find, that'd be my whole fucking day.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
I'd call MBL. I was like, look, what kind of system do you have here that we can't find these 3 people?
Yeah.
Like, are they cheating? Did they
Right.
find a way to drop off on their payment date and then come back on the next day?
Yeah.
Like, and I wasn't like accusing any of my students of that, right? But like, I was like,
Yeah.
what are
I
you
was
doing?
The same.
Obsessed.
I'd be on like anywhere, just checking my phone all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And then I don't anymore.
Yeah, I don't anymore either. I mean, I had to, that's where I started becoming more about the meditation part of the practice.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to be on that emotional roller coaster anymore. Like, I wanted to find contentment at all times. And that became my practice. And that's really where the benefit and the life change happened for me.
In meditation.
In meditation.
So
yeah.
do you actually take time every day to meditate?
I would say it's not like a formal thing where I go sit on a cushion, but at any time I'm alone or just lying in bed in the morning before my kids come in or something, I'm just like observing my state, my mental state.
So you've done it. I mean, did you ever have to do that? Like the cushion thing? Like
when I first, so I started meditating through my yoga practice. And then with most things, I just like jump in the deep end with it. And I went and signed up for a 10-day silent meditation retreat.
God damn, right away?
Yeah.
10 days silent?
Yeah, 10 days silent.
That's probably not hard for you though, because you're an introvert.
No, it's fucking hard.
Okay.
I mean, I'd say it's one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because you are not just being silent, but you don't make eye contact with people for 10 days. Like, you're not supposed to make eye contact, have no interaction. It's a bit like living like a nun or a monk in like a pop-up monastery.
10 days?
For 10 days.
Right away? How long into it?
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing yoga I started my yoga business, but like I said, I entered it more from the business side.
Right.
So like the yoga part grew on me. So it's maybe like the second year into my business that I did it, because I was like, I don't half-ass anything. Like,
I'm with you on that one.
I want to be all in.
It's so crazy. You're introvert, I'm extrovert, but like the things that you're saying, yeah. I never dip my toe into anything.
Yeah, you gotta walk the walk and talk the talk.
I just jump.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm doing it. I'm gonna go do this like most kind of strict form of meditation, because it's around, I mean, you wake up at 4 a.m. and you are eyes closed, seated meditation from 4 a.m. with like a couple breaks to eat. But you fast also the last half of the day. So from 4 a.m. till maybe 8 p.m. is when it ends. And then you sleep, wake up, do the same thing again.
But hold on. So you eat during the 4 a.m. to noon part?
No, so you go like 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. You take a little bit of a break for breakfast, and then you get back at it at, I don't know, like let's say like 7 a.m. Take another break for lunch, but that's it. The whole rest of the time you're seated meditation in a dark room.
Fuck that.
You should do it.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it changes you. I mean, it really taught me though that the things that are the hardest that you will ever have to do that's where there's opportunity. Because it changed me as a person.
I agree with you there.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with you there. I've always wanted to do. I don't know if I can do 10 days right away. I know there's weekend ones.
Yeah, I mean, there's other shorter ones that you can do too.
So like when you have breakfast and stuff, can you talk to the people at breakfast or no?
No.
Are you allowed to look at them?
No.
Can you have your eyes open?
You can have your eyes open, but they separate men from women too. And
why?
Because I've done meditation retreats where they don't separate men from women, and it's a way different experience. Like you get, when you do this kind of meditation, you get so sensitive to any sort of stimulation. And like the stimulation of having like masculine energy around you is very powerful, and you don't realize it in your day-to-day life when you're just like going about your life.
Oh, we're total pigs.
When you're like that sensitive because you haven't been talking and you've just been observing the sensations of your body, anything causes you to react. You become very in tune with that. And so like separating being with just females like facilitates that because you don't have like the distraction of all the testosterone around you.
Yeah,
that makes
because
sense.
we can't turn that off.
Right. Right.
You know, like we're just, I mean, genetically we're just wired to have testosterone and be like, oh girl, yay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, women too, right? I mean, because you're like you're like distracted by looking at all the guys on the other side of the room or something. But so it's like nice to not have that there. It helps you be internal more.
Right. This is the argument though for like the Taliban a little bit.
Oh, wow. You just took that a whole different direction.
I know, but that's their argument. We get distracted by the sexuality of women.
Sure.
And we suck and we can't control ourselves.
But and women getting distracted by the sexuality of men too. So it goes both ways.
Right. So that's why the women have to cover themselves.
Yeah. But if you go to like a Muslim country too, like men are dressed modestly also. They're wearing like long robes.
They're not walking around in thongs either.
No.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know if I like the keep them separated part, but interesting.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand it, but that's a slippery slope.
I would be super curious for you to try these retreats and come back and tell me about your experience.
I don't know if I can. I mean, you don't understand how long the grocery store takes me.
What do you mean by that?
I talk to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Like like half of my homies are in the grocery store.
Yeah, I could see that about you.
This is what
because when you walk into the school here, you're like high five every single person.
Yeah, it's what I do.
Yeah,
like
it is what you do.
I think
that's why it would be good for you. It would be
so
powerful.
hard for me.
It'd be really hard for you, but it'd be very powerful.
Maybe I'll be able to sit in the space, like you say to.
Yeah.
Like what you do, like when you're. Like how to hold the space when you're in difficult times, right? Like maybe this will help me hold the space.
Well, here's what it helps you do, and probably an extrovert, it's even more powerful, but it helps you isolate that like short period of time between stimulus and response. So like something happens and you want to react to it, you can recognize that moment, that little pause where you're like, I get to make a choice actually how I'm going to react. Versus just letting my body and my brain react.
Oh, you said something that we're gonna have to talk about. But go ahead.
But right, like it can help you. It can help you stop that reaction because you can isolate that pause. Yeah,
which is like the opposite of everything I do, like jujitsu. Like I love jujitsu, so you have to react to every stimulus.
Yeah, no, but it's good to be able to access different energies, right? So like I'm doing jujitsu now because I realize I've actually trained myself to have like to not react. And I think that's a benefit sometimes to actually access that pathway within you that is reactive. And I've spent 12 years now in yoga trying to train myself to not have that.
Right.
And so I actually like jujitsu because it's like, it's trying to like find that again.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a personal question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Okay.
With you and your husband, like obviously you guys fight sometimes,
right?
How does for me when my wife pisses me off, or like sometimes I want to scrap, and she will not scrap.
What do you mean by scrap?
Not hit her, obviously.
Right, I know.
But like fight, I'm like, no, we're gonna fucking handle this shit now. Fuck back over here. Like we're gonna get through this.
Yeah.
And obviously that's my like, oh, there's a stimulus, let's have a response.
Right.
Like, so are you like...
So you get really fiery right away.
I'm like, no, we're handling this.
Okay.
And she's like, nope. I'm like, what do you mean, no? You're fucking pissed. I'm fucking pissed. Let's fucking deal with this.
No, I like to deal with problems right away. For sure.
So like when you and your husband have a disagreement or an argument, like an actual fight.
Yeah.
Like not, not physical. Like you like to handle it right then, or do you want time?
It depends. It depends on what it's about. Let me try to think of what is probably my most common reaction. Sometimes I can observe him in a state where he can't think logically. And so it's like he's so reactive that I'm like, we're not going to get anywhere right now because I can see that you're not able to stop that reactivity. So like, let's not talk about it right now and let's talk about it once you can calm down. So I've gotten good at observing that in other people too, when I can see they're fired up and reactive. So I think that's probably my most common response. I mean, here's what I like. This is interpreted as aloof sometimes. I'm just super even keeled. I can just kind of stay steady. And so I think that's one of my superpowers is that I don't get that reactive.
Mine fucks with me.
Yeah.
Like I said, my two female students, so I'm close with our we have this thing that we have to work through,
the thing where you were like, no female jujitsu.
That was a year ago.
Oh, okay.
That might still be part of it,
Right.
but like we have this other thing that's currently going on. I like have dreams about it. Like I can't, like I'm like I get all nervous about it. So
what's the thing?
I don't want to talk
You
about
can't
it.
talk-
I don't.
okay.
I'll talk about it later once we
Okay.
work it out because
Okay.
I don't feel like that's fair to them.
Yeah. Understood.
To talk, but like I'm like this with everyone that I care about.
Right.
Like if you're upset with me, I don't do well while the person's upset with me.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I'm the same.
So
I'm the
like
same.
putting it on the back burner. Like right now, I'm waiting for them to be ready to talk.
Oh yeah, I'm like you. I can't handle that.
But we're talking.
I want to talk.
Yeah. But we're talking. Like I've talked to like.
Yeah.
We're talking as like normal.
Right.
But
But there's
is
an
this
elephant in
thing.
the
There's an
room.
elephant, right?
Yeah, I hate the elephant
I
in the
hate
room.
the fucking elephant. I need the elephant to be dealt
Same.
with.
I do too.
I cannot handle. Like I am like fuck, man. This is like I don't like this elephant.
Right.
So, fucks with me a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely fucks with me a little. Like so. But I think I need to be able to just hold the space a little more.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just saying I want to talk about this and I want to sort through this and I'm ready to do that. And I respect if you're not ready, but when you're ready, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
I
was ready the night it happened though.
Yeah.
Right. I'm ready now.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, especially when I'm the one who fucked up.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm ready now to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I just want to get through this.
Yes, other people need space.
Other people need space
They kind of
sometimes.
have to like heal it. Like, like sometimes you can't talk about it when you're too emotional about something too. You got to like wait till you can control yourself.
And I'm a difficult person to talk to.
Yeah. Why would you say that about yourself? I find you to be delightful to talk to.
Yeah, but this is.
But we're not talking about anything like
No.
heated personally.
No. Why am I difficult? Because, especially from their point of view, because like I'm their teacher. So coming to me with something,
Right.
Right? Like Amal and I, and Amal's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like I noticed it the other day, like why, like sometimes even in business, why people have struggles talking with us sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, we went to, we're looking to expand and we were up looking at this places in Longmont the other day. And I love the realtor. He's a great guy. He's doing a great job, but like he showed us this place that was obvious, like, and I just like walk in. Nope.
Yeah.
Like I don't have time to have my time wasted.
Yeah.
So it kind of brought him back. He was like, damn, we didn't even really, I was like, yeah, but I can just walk in the front fucking door and see that this ain't it. And I didn't say that.
Yeah.
But like, I can see how we come off like that sometimes.
Yeah.
And we've accomplished.
Right.
We're not unaccomplished.
Yeah.
So they don't want to waste my time either.
Yeah.
So then they get nervous that they don't know enough and that they're wasting my time.
Right.
And now I just said, yes, you just wasted my fucking time without saying that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, I didn't walk through the space and be like, maybe we could do a little better. Like I was just like walked in. Nope.
So you can't do like the niceties.
Not when it comes sometimes,
Yeah.
but yeah. But
I'm not great at that either.
Yeah.
I'm not that great at that either.
Like if you were looking at opening a yoga school, right? You want to do that on the cheap a little bit, right? You don't want to do a ton of construction.
Correct.
If somebody took you into a fucking restaurant,
Yeah.
like he didn't do this, right? But you're like, man, you know how much fuck that costs to get? Like, yeah, sure, that's the space is amazing,
Yeah.
but you have grills and fryers and oil and smell and.
Yeah.
It's like $250,000, man. Fuck off. Did you not think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. The build out is great. Right? So like that can like when now that's not what happened.
Right.
But it's like, did you really bring me here?
I could see you delivering that in a way where I would be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
If I was your agent.
Yeah. So people get,
Yeah.
Now look, you're on the same level as me, right? Like you've accomplished, we're doing a very similar thing.
Yeah.
You might be above me, I think, but,
oh, I know people get nervous around me.
yeah.
Yeah. They've told me later that, oh, I was so intimidated by you and now I love you.
Yes.
Because, but also I'm a slow burn.
Right.
Like I said, right?
I'm not.
Like you thought I was aloof.
Right. I'm not.
Right.
I'm like,
you're like, what you see is what you get.
After I say hi to everyone, I'm like, all right, motherfuckers, get on the mat. No water today. And everyone's like, oh shit.
Right.
And then sometimes when I'm teaching, if I'm close with the person, not even if I'm close with the person, when they do the move, like they'll ask me if that was okay. And I'm like, nope, terrible, but we're going to fix it.
Yeah. No, I've observed you teaching the kids classes before because when my kids are here and sometimes I'm like, dang, I want to be in that class because you'll like see somebody across the room and like yell out their name and say, that's not, look at where your right hand is, or I don't know, whatever, some cue, and it's like, oh, like I like that kind of feedback. I'm like, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Like, please don't just say great job when you see me fuck something up. Like,
oh, never,
and so I kind of like that, but so I could see other people have other people with it.
Right. For me, it's endearing.
Yeah, for me too. I think you care, right?
But I don't walk away from you.
Yeah.
I'm not like terrible.
Right.
Go away.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Now let's fix it.
Yeah.
And I stay there with you until it's fixed.
I think one thing that people commonly misinterpret is like feedback is a form of love, and people perceive feedback like it hurts them, Whereas like feedback is the best gift someone could ever give you. And I appreciate any feedback someone gives me, even when it's not always delivered in the right way. And I've definitely had some absolutely horrible feedback throughout my yoga career, but it's like, there's always some kind of truth in that. And there's always something you can learn. But I think some people, they take it personally.
Yeah. It's interesting because I just, like 2 times, so growing up, and I'm going to give another, like my personal example of how I have to adjust because it doesn't fuck with me. Like, so I grew up fat, like chunky, kids, no friends. Yada,
like how tall were you at like a young age?
Were you tall? No.
Did you grow later on?
Well, I would say my upwards went normal,
Okay.
But I was chunky.
Right.
I was chunky.
Okay.
I was a late bloomer in everything I did.
Same.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't lose my baby fat until I was, like 17, like going into my senior year of high school. And if you asked me how I did it, I ate spaghetti every day and Fruit Loops. So this isn't the diet to lose weight.
Right.
But that's just where I was. And I didn't help myself. Like I would I didn't want to be fatter. And if my clothes didn't fit and I had to go up in size, to me, that would mean I was getting fatter.
Right.
So I would just pull on skinny jeans before skinny jeans were in.
Yeah.
And skinny jeans don't look good on chunky people.
Right.
So didn't help myself. But so I moved here, got skinnier, I got into some shape, yada, yada, started doing jiu-jitsu. And then I hurt myself. So I got a little heavy because I couldn't train. I couldn't work out. And Amal's original teacher, Seneca, came to town and could only really speak Portuguese, but I knew a little bit. And he said, man, Amal, that fat kid over there is going to be your best student.
That's interesting.
So that fat kid is going to, I missed the best student part. I just heard fat.
Yeah.
But I didn't get all butt hurt.
Yeah.
I just said, all right, guess I'm fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess I'm fat. Gonna have to fix that.
Yeah.
Gonna have to fix that. And then 20 years later, 15 years later, I got a concussion. And we went to Masters Worlds. So I got a concussion and couldn't really train for Masters Worlds. I did them, but I couldn't train at all. So I was again a little heavy, like life shit.
Yeah.
And I could only like the last week or so could I run or do any type of cardio because it would make me dizzy.
Yeah.
So, and then Henzo was there, and Henzo's like my idol. Like I fucking love Henzo. like my motto is be like Henzo. And, you know, we're hello, yada, yada. And only Henzo can say this in a way that's like unoffensive towards gay people. But, you know, you have to understand Brazilian culture. He goes, man, Eliot, only a homo has abs when they're 50 or 40. And I'm like, oh, you just called me fat.
Yeah.
I was like, no more fat for me.
Yeah.
So like, I just take it differently.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't get real upset with.
You're just like, it is what it is, and I'll take care of it.
Yes, fat. Okay, change.
Yeah.
Like but that can make some people upset too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
Hey, that fat girl over there is going to be your best student.
Yeah.
That would not go well.
No, it would not go well. For sure.
You know, so it's just different personalities. Like all that we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think have you ever read The Four Agreements?
No.
It's one of my favorite books because the Four Agreements one of them is don't take anything personally. You know, and if you can really embrace that, and also another one is don't make assumptions. So when someone says something, don't assume that you know what they meant, right? Like or you see that somebody behave in a certain way, don't assume you know why that is. If you can embody those things, it's incredibly freeing.
Yeah, I can see that.
To not take things personally and to not make assumptions about why other people are doing things, because everybody is interpreting and doing the things that their mind is telling them to do, right? And it has nothing to do with you, right? So it's like for him, maybe that was endearing to call you a fat kid, right? Like,
yeah, Maul said, yeah.
You know, maybe that's like kind of a form of sweetness in Brazilian culture. I don't know.
No, and Amal said Henzo was being kind.
Yeah, right?
But I was like, no, he wasn't. He was like, yes, he was. And I was like, okay, well, I'm too fat.
Yeah,
so
I mean, a lot of people do that kind of stuff because it's like a form of sweetness for them. You know?
So my grandfather survived the concentration camps.
Wow.
So when he says to you, so he saw really like deathfully skinny people. So when he says to you that you've gained weight, that was a compliment.
Yeah.
But my wife was like, what the fuck? Why does your grandfather call me fat all the time?
Oh, jeez.
He's like, oh, you look good. You've gained weight.
Yeah.
And she's like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that old man's problem?
Right.
And then we had to explain it to her. And now she's good with it.
Yeah.
but he's dead. But she got good with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had a lot of stuff like that, not from being overweight or fat as a kid, but from I was 6'2" by the time I was in 6th grade.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So you've been this tall forever?
Yep. So so you can imagine
that was not fun for you. Yeah, no.
It was not fun for me. Yeah, but it really developed my character. It made me who I am in many ways. And that ability to not internalize insults, you know, or perceived insults.
So this might be a little personal again, and you can choose.
Bring it.
Okay. So did you develop like other female features too, or did like breasts and like wider hips and? I
did.
Okay.
I wasn't like a beanpole. I mean, I would say I was like pretty much like I am now by the time I was going into high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you weren't just this like rail of a person.
No.
You looked female.
I looked female.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I looked like I do now.
Sure. Okay. But still, that's tall.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I have to ask you another question now if we get back onto the entrepreneur thing. But you've said two things that kind of contradicted.
Okay.
You said choice earlier, and you said you have the choice in the stimulus response thing.
Yep.
To make a different choice. And then when we were just talking about the reactive thing, that person isn't making necessarily a choice. What do you believe about free will?
What do I believe about free will?
Do we have free will?
Man, that's getting deep now.
I know.
Like,
okay, so I'll go first. I don't believe in free will.
Okay, well, elaborate on that.
Yep. I think that there are two things that we have. There's nature and there's nurture. And these are the only two things that make up our decisions. In any single moment, you could not make a different choice than the one you do.
Interesting. Every choice? Would you apply that to every choice?
Every single choice.
Yeah.
Every single choice.
Yeah, see, I disagree with that because I think there's a mix of it probably in my mind, because my natural choice would have never been to be an entrepreneur. That's not what was modeled to me and by my family. And I had a lot of fear around it. So like I had to battle that and overcome that to make a different choice.
So I would say that you had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
That's what, and what, it's such a hard topic because everyone's like, well, then why do you do what you do, Eliot? Like why? And my answer is because I'm trying to affect the nurture. I know I can't touch your nature. I can't touch it.
Right.
But I'm trying to affect the nurture all the time. Can I be can I be that spark in a moment in your life where you hear that thing that changes someone's life for the better?
Right.
Right. So I'm trying to put as much content out as I can.
Yeah, but if you're saying, can I be that thing where I'm the spark that changes someone's life forever? Right. That's assuming that person can hear that and make a change. Right?
I have no control over the timing of that. Like I don't know that it will affect somebody.
Right.
But I'm just trying to put it out there so that maybe that day they hit their Instagram and go, fuck.
Yeah, that's what I needed to hear today.
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe that you can, I mean, I can go back and forth on the fence about this, but this is going to sound yogi.
It's okay.
Right? But there's like signs from the universe that you can tune into that can help direct your path. Because when I was on the fence about whether or not I should open this yoga studio, which, by the way, like everybody around me thought was the dumbest idea ever, because yoga was very small and very fringe at that time.
Don't worry, I fought in a cage.
Jiu-jitsu was
no, I fought in a cage. My parents were not like, yes, that's what we paid $100,000 for.
Exactly. And I was on this business trip and I was thinking about whether or not to do this. And I was like stuck in the Atlanta airport. It was super crowded. And I was in line to get a piece of pizza. And this old man behind me was like, dang, it's really busy here. Like, I don't know where I'm going to sit. And I was like, why don't you come sit with me and my colleague? You know, we have a table. We already got it. Our stuff's there. Just come sit with us. So he comes and sits down with us. And my partner at the time that I was on this project with was like super touchy-feely guy. And like the first question he asked this guy, who was probably in his late 80s, is, if you had one piece of advice that you could tell us right now from just where you're sitting in your life, what would it be? And the guy looks like straight at me, looks me straight in the eyes and goes, take more risks. And that was right when I was deciding whether or not to sign this lease with the landlord for my first yoga studio. And I was just like, holy shit, this was meant to happen. Like I was meant to meet this person. It's sort of like a guardian angel came and had a piece of pizza with me that day and told me what I needed to do, or like told me what I needed to hear. Right. So I do believe what you're saying, that like, if you, like the right place, right time, if you can be that spark for someone, you can, I mean, like that guy in some ways contributed to changing my life.
He may change your life possibly.
Yeah. I know. Isn't that cool?
So you had zero control over that, right?
I had control over it, and the fact that I went a little bit out of my comfort zone and asked him to like have lunch with me. Right. You know, introverted people, that's like a weird hard thing to do.
But you didn't know any of this about him.
I mean, I didn't know him, or, you know, just thought I was helping out this elderly gentleman. Right. Be stressed that day.
If it were me, would you know, so the elderly gentleman helped.
In what way?
That
what do you mean?
Would say, hey, come sit down.
Okay.
You know, if I was walking through my tank top with Mike Tyson on it.
I mean, actually, I really enjoy different kinds of people, because I feel like everyone has something to teach you. And if you start talking to any person that you meet, like they will say something that affects you, right? That you remember or you can reflect on. So like I really like the just diversity of people. So if you were behind me in your Mike Tyson tank top, and you know, you smiled at me.
People yell at me.
Like I'd be like, all right, come come eat pizza with me.
A lot of people yell at me when I wear Mike Tyson around. Yeah. I'm like, you just didn't do your research. Yeah. That's what I say to them. I was like, you need to get on Google, homie.
Gotcha.
Like, do your research. Yeah. Before, you know. So where are you now? Like so you started your first, and now how many schools have you opened?
Yeah.
Like,
so I opened 2. And then I sold into another franchise probably about 5 years ago and became a minority owner of that franchise. Okay. And then helped that grow to, I think we grew to 35 studios. And now that franchise is being sold again. So now I'm actually leaving the yoga industry to go work with another fitness concept in Boulder.
Okay.
That I'm sure you've heard of, called Boulder Movement Collective.
Yes, I know Boulder Movement Collective. Are you going to own, or are you going to have a boss?
I'm going to be a co-owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say,
because I'm not doing that again.
No
way. I learned my lesson.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
No way. That boss shit is, it's so hard sometimes because some people need the boss. Like if no one had a boss.
It takes all kinds of people. Right.
If no one had a boss, then none of us would be able to start businesses.
Absolutely.
So that but for me, I know like when I wake up in the morning, I can't have someone calling me, telling me what to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to do me.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to do me, and like that's going to be a lot.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
I'm going to do me. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that you said, that like in the 4 agreements, I'm going to have to read it. I don't let anybody have my day. Nobody,
what do you mean by that?
Nobody can make me have a bad day.
Oh, gotcha.
Death is the only thing.
Yeah.
Somebody close to me dies.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
Yeah. Like even like my girls are mad at me right now.
Yeah.
It's okay. They can't have my day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's part of, because you said you meditate too.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the benefits that you get from that contemplative like practice is your ability to be content in even when you're sad.
Yeah.
Like I was, that was what I was theming my yoga classes on last week, was like being happy even when you're sad.
Yeah.
And like that is one of the best gifts that yoga and meditation has given me, is like no matter what, I can, except for in the death of a loved one, I can maintain contentment at all times.
That's the only time I haven't been able to do it.
Yeah.
And they say you should be able to do it then too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I mean, I think about that sometimes. I mean, there's forms of Buddhist meditation where you actually watch a body decompose, and that's like your meditative practice. Like when a monk dies in the monastery, like they just lay him out in nature, and then you meditate on the death of this person who was in your family and the impermanence of it, of just life and everything, right? And like, can you still find contentment even when the world's on fire?
I'm having a tough conversation with my kid right now because he's super like me, like the good and the bad of me. And he's really scared about what happens when we die and we're not religious.
Yeah.
Like it'd be great to be able to say, "Oh, Jesus, heaven." Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, God damn, why right now? Because if I could just say that, like he'd go to sleep.
I know. Yeah, it's hard.
But so
I'm not religious either, so it's
a tough one. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious.
Yeah, same.
So. But Rebecca, thanks.
Yeah, thank you,
It.
Eliot.
Look, we didn't even talk that much business. A little bit of business.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So I appreciate it. I love talking to people that I don't know that well.
Yeah,
and
me
it
too.
helps kind of spark my relationship with them.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do one of the things that I hate, or not hate, but one of the things I dislike that happens a lot is like powerful males that do this whole podcast thing, talk to other powerful males a lot. And I don't want to do that. I want to be like, look, we can all talk together.
Yeah,
here,
I appreciate that.
right? Like kind of like I talked about earlier with like the jiu-jitsu thing, you know, like, sure. Okay. So what that the best girl can't beat up the best guy or even like a good guy, like,
right.
You know, but you do these other things really well.
Exactly.
So we have to find these similarities that we have and use each other's power.
Yeah.
To be great. And if we're only looking at, like, if I'm only looking at men and you're only looking at women, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, that's some bullshit.
Yeah. I have a hard time when I don't have many male friendships in my life.
Yeah.
Like I need that balance of having like relationships with men and relationships with women.
Yeah. I enjoy them. Yeah, like I enjoy them. Like we've been talking about them sporadically through like Anna and Dana. Like I love my relationships with them.
Yeah,
you know,
it's very enriching, right?
It's very enriching for me. It's very enriching, even though they're mad at me right now. Even though they're mad at me, but that's going to make me better. Like that's going to make me a better person and leader.
Yeah,
and they're going to show me where I fucking blew this whole thing.
Yep.
And I'll be able to assess and look at that. But where, and I was talking about it with Ian a little bit, like. It didn't happen. Like when I fucked up with like Ian and Mike as they were coming up, they probably just took it.
Right.
They probably just took it. I could have done it better.
Yeah.
But they just took it because that's like kind of the male thing to do. and now I have these two girls that like are going to show me this different
call
way.
you out on your shit. It's
yeah,
good.
they're going to show me. They're going to show me this different way. So hopefully they listen to this whole podcast so they can hear it come through, not just the complaining part in the beginning. So, but I thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I really, I know you're busy and you got things to do, and I'm just
No, thanks for having me. It was fun.
All right, good. All right, guys, that's it. Gospel of Fire. We'll check you later. All right, guys, thanks for listening to this episode of The Gospel of Fire. Don't forget to check me out on all of my social media at FireMarshal205. Again, at FireMarshal205. Go to my YouTube channel. FireMarshal01, that is, for YouTube, where you can follow. I'm making these videos 100K strong. That's the goal for the year. I want 100,000 strong listeners to the Gospel of Fire. So I'm trying to make a video a week so that you guys can follow along on my journey of how I go about my day, some things that I talk about, some things that I try to work on for myself. And then finally, don't forget my website, EliotMarshall.com, where you can get up to date with everything that has to do with me personally, the Gospel of Fire. You're going to find all about my book release, also called The Gospel of Fire, February 12th. It will be for sale on Amazon that whole week for 99 cents. So all that information at EliotMarshall.com. Thanks again for listening. Thanks to my sponsors, Evo Labs and On It. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode.